Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Film Pundits. We are here to review episode 11 of The Strain Season 1. We are now 2 episodes away from the finale.
That's it.
My name is Adam Hlavik and I'm joined here by Eric Bradley. And Eric, how are you doing?
I'm tired, but great.
So, as usual, we're just going to give you our initial thoughts on the episode, then we're going to give you some spoilers, and then we're going to wrap it all up at the end and give you our final thoughts. So, Eric, what did you think of the episode?
Yeah, this was a pretty solid episode. We see some cool stuff happen. I feel like I say that at the beginning of every single one of these reviews. Now that I think about it, it was fun. Not too much filler, but the filler that there was kind of annoying. We got some solid action. We get to see some more Vasily being Vasily, making some cool gadgety fun stuff in the opening of the episode. That's kind of fun. We see some stuff about Nora's mom. We see a little bit more with the son. So it's like we get a little bit more building stuff. We see Gus again, which is nice. Yeah. So we catch up on some people. We get some more main storyline development, and I mean, it was a pretty solid episode.
Yeah, I personally really liked this episode. We finally got to see them get to kind of where they're going, and there was a lot of filler in this episode. Some of it not necessary, some of it I guess I was fine with. But overall, yeah, I really liked it, and it was cool to just see certain things happen, which we can't, I want to say so bad, but I don't want to spoil anything. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I liked it. Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to get some spoilers. If you have not seen the episode yet, we definitely recommend that you just click on this, the Strain, or the Film Pundits logo behind us. Bam. And it'll take you to the end of the video. Come back later, rewatch it, and let us know what you think about our thoughts on the spoilers. So, spoilers officially are commencing now.
And go. Yeah, so we open up on Vasily, and he's sitting there messing with his UV light bomb idea, essentially, where he's like, okay, I'm going to build this thing. It's going to send out real bright UV light, and it's going to get him. It's like a little UV grenade. Mm-hmm. And so, he's setting it all up, and Ephraim's son is sitting there filming it on the iPhone, and Ephraim comes in and realizes, nope, that's not safe. So let me grab this kid and take him to a safe place. Yeah. And then, they test it out. It just lights itself on fire after, getting bright for a half a second.
It was like a Doc Brown moment.
Yeah, didn't do too much, and Vasily seems a little disappointed. And then Ephraim comes in with this idea of, why don't you make it strobe, and then it won't burn the light out, and it'd have a better effect most likely. Yeah. And then of course Vasily, he can't just take a good advice. He's like, well, why don't I also hook up a fog machine and we'll have dance rave party with vampires? And it's like, okay, I like this guy. And then he's like, that was a good suggestion. I'll take it into mind. Thank you. Yeah. Essentially. That's how we open up on our episode. So that was pretty funny.
I like Vasily because he's like such the comic relief of this show, and no matter how serious the tone gets, he also gets very serious. But he has his moments where he kind of brings you back. Yeah, and it's like okay, at the end of the day, this is a horror show, and he's kind of like that anchor that kind of grounds you every once in a while, so he's good for that, yeah.
And they kind of just come up at the end of their okay, well, I guess we'll just do whatever we can and try our best with whatever we know. And then Abe pops in, and he's like, well, that's what I've been doing for however many years. It's like, oh, good to know you kind of have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, and you see Ephraim, he's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, like, what? Oh, we're following this guy.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. And so then after that we go to Nora's mom in this episode, who did nothing but just drive me crazy. This lady, my God.
I kind of almost feel like they put these characters in there to just add tension, but they kind of annoy me. Yeah, like the lawyer or the attorney lady, no, was she an attorney? Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's just certain characters I'm like,
please die, please turn into a vampire already.
Yeah, or just be there, but don't have such a presence where I'm so annoyed with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it adds tension, but it kind of gets tiresome after a while.
Yeah, so, she's searching for her ashtray that her husband got for her from the place
from the first date.
Yeah, and so she's obsessed with this ashtray through the whole episode and looking for it all the time, and she's looking for it. Nora has to calm her down. And then later, when Nora and all the rest of them leave, and it's just Ephraim's son with her, she's still looking for it. She's blaming him for it. She's out at the gate in front of the place trying to escape, trying to get people to help her get out. Mm-hmm. And, Ephraim's son manages to to calm her down in a rational way at the start with just saying, look, Nora will be back soon, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Chill out, lady.
But then later all of a sudden decides, oh, what if I just tell her I'll go get her cigarettes and I leave this safe place to go to a corner store. And how is he planning on getting cigarettes? He's obviously not of age. And I'm just like, what is going through this kid's mind?
That was the first thing I thought of, but then I started thinking, like, the whole city's looting.
Yeah.
It's completely, like, crazy, catastrophic chaos.
Yeah.
If a kid runs into a liquor store and gets cigarettes, I don't think anyone's going to say anything at this point.
So, he runs into that convenience store and sees, oh, the clerk is dead behind the counter. Okay. So he's kind of got some balls, this kid. He's not afraid of anything. He's kind of excited about what's going on, but still makes some stupid decisions. And so he sees the cigarettes, goes to grab them, and my first thoughts are, oh, this guy's going to come back to life as soon as he goes to grab them. Like they're right by the guy's hands. Mm-hmm. But no, instead, in comes this couple that's looting the place. And he decides to run really loudly to the back. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, they heard you. And I don't understand what the big deal was. They didn't seem that intimidating to me. If I were the kid, I would have just been like, let me grab the cigarettes and run out of here. Obviously, they're not going to stop me over a pack of cigarettes.
True, but at the same time, like, being a little kid, you don't really know what these people are going to do. Yeah. They could try to, steal whatever he has. And, it could be keys to get back to Abe's shop. It could be the cell phone. So I think as a kid, your instant reaction is to hide from things that are unknown to you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he goes and he hides and...
He finds a little vampire down the little rolly conveyor belt thing, and I'm just like, oh, this kid's not going to be able to climb up that. Yeah. He's screwed. And then he drops the iPhone, and I'm like, oh, this kid's so dead. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I'm kind of hoping he's going to die, because he's another character that annoys me. Mm-hmm. So it's like, having all these scenes with the mother and him, I'm like, oh, these are the two people that annoy me currently the most in this show. And it's like half the episode is about them. But so, yeah, he manages to, escape with the iPhone, even though he cracked the screen. And then he bumps straight into the looter, the guy, and he's, oh, what's in there? Oh, there's another person. And then he goes back and he gets eaten by the vampire. And then his girlfriend freaks out. Oh, what's going on? She runs in there. She gets eaten by the vampire. Yeah. And so Ephraim's son's just like, okay, cool, I'm going to leave now.
I'm out.
Runs out, bumps into Gus, and I'm like, oh my god. Gus is gonna come in, save the day, be this kid's savior, and join with the mother, Nora's mother. It's gonna be so cool. But then he just sort of walks to the back with the axe in his hand. He sort of just seems to be on a murder spree. He wants to just go out and kill some stuff. He just lost his brother and his mother earlier
previously.
Yeah, that had just happened. So he's in a little bit of a bad mood. Mm-hmm. And I mean that's essentially all for we don't really see the son get back to the store, do we? That's the last we see of him.
No. Well, we see him. He gets back to Abe's hideout and he brings the cigarettes to the mother. Yeah. And as he's walking toward the mother, the music is very dramatic and very creepy. So at this point, you're unsure: is there a vampire down there? Like, did she get attacked? He walks up to her. Going up to her. He's like, "Ma'am." Turns around. And she's normal. Yeah. And it goes back to normal. I'm like, oh my god.
I know, yeah, that was pretty tense there for a minute.
And he's like, I got your cigarettes. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, you're such a good boy. I'm like, you just yelled at him and cursed him out, and now he's a good boy because he brought you smokes? Come on.
Yeah. So I guess that's all it took. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they've done that exact shot so many other times, and it's been a vampire that it's like you're just expecting it to be that again.
It's the first time that it hasn't been that.
Yeah. Like, I think they're finally realizing just how many times they've done that whole gag, and they're like, let's have it not be that once. Yeah. But so yeah, I think that's all we see of the son and Nora's mother for that episode. Mm-hmm. So then we'll get to Gus. So we start off which is a little ridiculous. Gus walks straight into his mother's apartment wearing a bright orange prison outfit in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Which, if it was me, I would have maybe at least zipped it down and tied it around my waist so it didn't look so conspicuous. Because it's got a huge inmate number printed on the back. So even though there's looting and stuff going on, throughout the entire episode, you hear sirens and helicopters and ambulances and fire trucks. You think someone would have spotted him?
Somebody's going to be a little concerned about the prison inmate running around.
Yeah, because I mean, who knows? Like nobody else knows what this guy is out of prison for.
Exactly.
So it was a little ridiculous, yeah. But he's banging on the door, trying to get in, and then the door opens. He walks in, walks in the living room, sees his brother standing there, and he's asking brother like, "Hey, where's mom?
Yeah,
where's mom? On? What's going on? Where's mom? What's happening?"
Yep.
Brother turns around. Sure enough,
he turned. Yep.
He got blood mouth. Yeah, he got blood mouth.
And so, you know, he comes at him, shoots his little tonguey mouth at him. And
Gus is not having that.
Nope. Gus
grabs
picks
a baseball
up the
bat.
and
yeah. Beats him real nice.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't initially go full on for the kill until his brother sort of really attacks him. And then
he has that moment of clarity where he's like, I have to die. It's kill or be killed.
Yeah, and he really did seem to genuinely feel bad about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's his brother.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Yeah. So, you know, that happens, and then he starts trying to call his mom, figure out where his mom is. She's at the hospital working, and then he starts hearing this noise from a closet, and, you know, he walks towards it, opens it, and sure enough,
she's in there. She doesn't attack him right away.
No.
She's in there dormant because we find out that these vampires are nesting when they initially transform. So she's in there, laying in there, and he breaks down. I mean, he has a huge breakdown. His brother and his mother are now turned.
Yep.
And he starts packing up his stuff. He changes finally out of that damn prison uniform. And his mother then finally comes out of the closet, and he's faced with the brutal reality that he does have to kill her because, you know, she's turned. So and like right before that moment comes, he decides, you know what, it's gonna split.
Yeah, he says, you know what, I should have been here for you. I'm sorry, I wasn't here to protect you. And he just sets down the bat and walks out.
At which point I was like, hold on. You putting the weapon down? Oh my God, really? Like it's gonna be this again with a no flashlight, no weapon thing?
Oh yeah.
But then he walks into the hallway, he sees the apartment manager who's also been turned, and he's like, hey, I got your rent. And he grabs the axe from the
well, he grabbed it before he even saw the person.
That's right.
He grabbed an axe, which I'm like,
yeah, which I was like, okay.
Good weapon.
He's weaponized.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so it goes for him, and chops the landlord's head right off, and you just see the head tumble down the stairs. And then that's the last we see of Gus before he meets Ephraim's son and runs into him.
Yeah.
And then at that point, when he goes into the store and kills the vampire, and I'm presuming he's going to kill those the two looters. Yeah. That's the last we see of Gus. So from here on out, who knows where he'll end up.
Yeah, we got 2 more episodes to see some stuff with Gus.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so throughout the rest of the story, it's just, you know, the main group, they're going to find the Master, essentially. And it's weird because it's like, watching this, I don't know where they're going to go with this show. Like, how many seasons could it really go for? How many times can they not kill the Master? Can they kill him? And then what's going to happen? Are the rest of them not going to? So it's like, I'm really curious to see what exactly where they go with this show, because the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, how long can this last for based on like the rules they've sort of set forth for themselves in the show? Yeah,
and we haven't read the book. We've only read the first volume of the graphic novel, which has already ended long before we get to this point. So we have no clue where it's going to go. But yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like I have no idea where that's going to go, because you get to this point and they're already hunting the Master. They're underground. Yeah, and they do encounter him while they're down there. You know, it's a pretty like chaotic scene, like the whole sequence of them like trying to find him.
And it's weird because like a lot of stuff happens, but it wasn't a lot of important stuff. It's more like, okay, let's sneak down here. Okay, now Ephraim and Vasily get into a little bit of a fight about, what was it?
Oh, because they're on the train track and and Vasily tells them like, don't worry, the train doesn't run through here. Like if there's a train coming, we'll know. And all of a sudden this train starts coming through, and they have to like run around this corner and hide. He's like. And what does Ephraim yell at him?
Ephraim just starts like, he said, oh yeah, we'll know about it, or something like that.
Yeah, he starts mocking him that the train's coming, and this train's like whizzing by them, and it's just, that was one of those moments I was like, ooh, God.
Yeah, the one funny part was right after that, though. Ephraim starts like doing his own Russian accent.
Which was hilarious.
Oh, we'll know if the train is coming. Oh yeah, real great job knowing the train was coming.
You want to lead now, huh?
Yeah, it was so funny. Yeah, that was a great moment of sort of just a little bit of lightheartedness.
And the one thing that they did find out was that you can electrocute the vampires too, because there's a vampire that they encounter who steps on one of the tracks.
The third rail.
Yeah, the third rail, which is active, and gets electrocuted, and it fries them. So another potential weapon that they have to use against these vampires.
Yeah. So that was, and then Vasily says, you want to carry the charge pack or the battery pack or whatever? You can go ahead and do that. So another funny little quip from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, then they're just sort of walking around. They run into a couple big groups of the vampires just sitting there kind of nesting.
Yeah, which is when Abraham tells them exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he tells them, like, because Vasily wants to aggressively get through them, and Abraham tells them, like, no, like, they're dormant. Let's let them be, because as long as we let them be, the Master won't know that we're here.
Yeah.
So as soon as we start being aggressive, he'll be aware of our presence. So they basically, it's like an obstacle course. They have to just get through them. And at one point, Ephraim thinks he sees Kelly and realizes it's not her.
Yeah.
And then they get to a point where they have to go crawl through this little crawl space, which that's ballsy that they did that, because I would have been like, nope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Ephraim's the first one to go through.
Can't go forward. You can barely go forward. You can't go backwards, and you're trapped.
Yeah,
in
you can't see behind you at all. You can barely see in front of you, and you have no idea what's at the other end. But Ephraim gets through. And the Master, like we were talking about, he's using Kelly to kind of lure them in.
Yep.
And he starts to project Kelly's voice.
Yeah.
And she's calling out to Ephraim for help, and he gets distracted, and he starts trying to go find her. And behind him, Abe is telling him, like, no, don't fall for it. It's like a trap. You're going to get yourself killed. Don't do it, Goodweather. Don't do it.
And he nearly gets everybody else killed by not being there to help them through.
Exactly.
Vasily gets his foot stuck in the cave.
Yeah, well, he gets completely stuck because he's so much bigger than them, and this crawl space is tiny. I mean, Nora gets through it real easy, and thankfully she's there on the other side because she helps pull Vasily out when all the other vampires behind them start to attack and get really aggressive.
It got so hectic in there too. It was like all the different lighting changes of green and red and blue, and all of a sudden, like we're seeing this, and now we're seeing this person, now we're seeing the vampires. It's like, what are we? It was hard to tell even what exactly we were looking at the time. It was like there was so much chaos.
Yeah, which I kind of liked. It kind of added to the intensity of the episode.
Yeah,
but it got really chaotic to really follow like what the hell was happening. But thankfully, like once everyone was able to get through, they're all going after trying to find Ephraim. And
he is off. He found the coffin.
Yeah.
And then we see a big group of them surround him, and he's like, "Where's my wife? Where's she? Where's Kelly?"
Yeah.
And then they all just sort of stop, and we see the Master start crawling.
Yeah, you see this
like
light all of a sudden on the ceiling, and everyone's looking up, and Ephraim looks up, and sure enough, there's the Master crawling on the ceiling. He jumps down and confronts Ephraim face to face, which he is freaking terrifying. Like
he's pretty creepy looking.
He's huge. He's like 7 or 8 feet tall. He just grabs Ephraim. He's like, "You came here thinking you're gonna kill me?"
Yeah.
Like, I drink the blood of men, or whatever.
And so Ephraim just tries to hit him with the sword, immediately gets stopped.
Yep.
Tries to pull out the gun, immediately gets stopped. And we see. He's like, no, it's not going to be that easy. You're not going to walk in and kill this guy.
The Master is extremely powerful.
Yeah. And so then, the Master just goes on this long-winded speech of killing him and choking him slowly, just slowly enough for Abe to come up and sort of sneak around. But the Master immediately knows he's there and just like glares at him, which I guess he has like the ability to make Abe's hands hurt by glaring at him. Like,
I don't think it's necessarily he has the ability to make his hands hurt. I think he has like a mental connection with him, and I think it has probably something to do with what happened in the past, and because they've already encountered each other once before.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of like a mental connection where he can distract Abe, and I don't know. I'm sure we'll probably find out like what it is, some kind of telekinetic power that he has.
Something,
with people that he's probably interacted with, but he just keeps going on and telling like you can't stop me. Like I'm gonna completely wipe out humanity.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drink the blood of every man and woman and child on this earth. And then thankfully, Vasily and Nora come in.
Yep. And Vasily's light bomb gets thrown out. We see, oh good, it works now because it's strobing.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of badass.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so the Master, of course, bolts out of there real fast. And Abraham just gets pissed. We had him. We were right there. And it's like, okay, you were sitting there bent over in pain. You weren't doing anything. Like, you can't get that pissed.
I think at that point it's become like a personal vendetta. Like now he's like, okay, now I'm pissed because you were in my grasp. You got away. Thankfully, all those other vampires were killed with that strobe light.
Yeah.
But now it's like he's in mission mode, and he's like, I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna kill you so bad.
Yeah.
And he does. He shows his anger. He takes a sledgehammer to the coffin,
Yeah.
which he built.
Pretty convenient that sledgehammer's just laying there, by the way.
And he bashes that thing apart. Like it was, to me, I really liked seeing that emotion from him because he's been such a he's been more mellow of a character. Like he's the one to tell people always like, all right, calm down, stop getting distracted, like focus on the mission. This is what we have to do. And he just lets go and he's just like fury, just pissed. And he just breaks that thing apart. And he's like, all right, F this, we're going after him. I don't care where he went, how many people we have to encounter, like we're going to him now. It becomes a suicide mission at that point. And Ephraim and even Vasily, they try to hold him back, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
They get to a point where they have to go into potentially like 3 different paths and they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And then they have to use the UV light to try to figure out where to go through. And sure enough, they get to the one point where they go after the Master.
And Vasily's like, hold on, let me just check this real quick. Throws a flare in there, and we realize, oh shit.
Yeah.
That would have been a terrible idea. It's just
there's hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Hundreds of vampires in there just nesting.
Yeah.
And Abraham is still crazy enough to try to go in there. And
if they had another one of those UV bombs, that would have been perfect.
Oh yeah,
Considering
totally.
you killed the rest of them in that other scene, that would have just immediately wiped them all out. That would have been pretty awesome.
It was pretty much like a huge hive, and if you would have thrown one of those things in there, oh yeah, would have been done. It would have been wiped out.
And then it's like, oh, there's the Master standing there all by himself in the middle of all the rest of these things that just disappeared. Perfect, let's go get him.
Yeah.
But you know, they were all out of stuff, and all they could do was pull Abe away as he fought to sort of go into that room, and that's how we end the episode.
Yeah, and I think at that point, that's the point where Abraham just doesn't care. He's just like, I'm on a suicide mission. I don't care if this kills me, as long as he's dead as long as I kill him in the process. I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we end. It was pretty hectic to just watch that whole scene.
Yeah, it was.
Like even got my blood going, and I was kind of torn. I'm like, either go in there and kill him or retreat. But it's, at this point, it's like you have to completely retreat, make a new game plan, and go back in there. And you don't know at that point, like, are those vampires going to now multiply in numbers?
Oh yeah.
Are there going to be more of them spread underground? I mean, I don't know. With 2 episodes left, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows how many seasons they're wanting to go for? It's like you can't have it you can't have them wrap up everything in the first season because the Master can't be gone. If the Master
is gone, that's the end of the show. Really.
Unless they're wrong and it doesn't get rid of the rest of them, then they still have to get rid of the rest. But the Master, so it's like they've got so many places they can go with it.
Yeah.
And you know they got 2 episodes left to kind of wrap up this first season and give us an idea of what they want to do in the future. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it.
Yeah, and we still don't know. We still really don't know what role Eldritch and Ichor's play. Yeah. You know, is one of them going to take over the mantle of the Master? Does that mean that this disease will continue to spread, or because we don't see them at all in this episode? Yeah. So we're completely left in the dark as to what their role is going to be in the future, or even in these next 2 episodes. So we'll see. And we didn't see Ephraim's wife. Yeah. So I don't know. It could end up being like you said last time. It could be this battle of good versus evil at the very end. Yeah. And who comes out on top? Who knows? I mean, there may not even be a resolution.
Yeah, it might just go even crazier by the finale. Yeah. But yeah, so it's exciting to see those last 2 episodes, figure out where it's gonna go.
Yeah, I still feel like it's very unpredictable. But
yeah, definitely.
Who knows? But I think that's going to wrap it up for spoilers. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll just give you our final thoughts, and we'll give a nice little rating, so by all means.
Yeah, final thoughts on the episode were, we saw some cool... I'm going to stop saying cool stuff. I need to stop saying that. It was fun. It was good. I didn't like our secondary story, kind of, with the son... and Nora's mom. It wasn't my favorite thing they've had going on with the stories so far. But our main story was good. It was a little convoluted. There was a lot of stuff in there that was a little fillery. But in the end, it was good. Our battle kind of was exciting. It was nice to see what happened with Gus, get filled in with him again, since we haven't seen him in a couple episodes. So yeah, I mean, we can't get everything from every character in every episode, even though that might round it out better if they really did give us a glimpse of everything that's happened. And I also want to see that group of people we saw like a handful of episodes ago that we saw.
Oh,
Them we haven't
the Jedi
seen.
Knight.
Yeah, we haven't
looking
seen it.
dudes.
I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much if you haven't seen it at all. But those people, where'd they go? We saw them once like 4 or 5 episodes ago or something. We haven't seen them since.
Yeah.
I want to know what their deal is.
I totally forgot about that.
I know, right? I totally did until 2 seconds ago also.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so many other people we could catch up with instead of having filler in these episodes, but it was still a pretty solid episode. I'd probably give this one, I don't know, all the filler makes me go a little lower, so maybe like a 7 out of 10. Even though there were some good parts to it and the ending was good, all the rest of the story was just a little
boring.
Underwhelming and boring.
Yeah.
But it was still a decent episode.
I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think I liked it a little bit more. Yeah, the Fuller stuff, yeah, it was a little boring. It was a little, I didn't really need it. I would have preferred to stay with our main characters and with Gus. Like, those 2 stories I think were the most interesting. I would have been completely fine with splitting the episode between those 2. And then having just a little bit of filler with Ephraim's son and Nora's mom. But the final act of the episode really got me going and really got me excited for the finale. So I think that's mostly what I'm going to base my score on. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 is what I would give it.
Okay.
Any final thoughts before we head out?
I think that's about it. I'm just excited to see where they go with the last couple episodes, and yeah.
Cool. So guys, just as a reminder, if you want to catch The Strain, it's on Sundays, 10 p.m. on FX. Watch the show, join in on the conversation, let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the season so far, about the episode. Where do you think it's going to go from here to the finale and beyond? Yeah. Be sure you like the video, share the video with your friends. Let's get a lot of people on the discussion. And follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/thefilmpundits. And we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under The Film Pundits. And Eric, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Thanks for the View with a 4 in the middle.
And you guys can just find me on all social media just under Adam Havoc. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. And be sure you guys stick around. We're actually going to start reviewing Gotham this week.
Tomorrow.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, jeez.
And we got Arrow and Flash and Constantine coming up. A lot of content. So make sure you guys subscribe so you guys get the latest videos from The Film Pundits. Thank you.